What's up, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to my jungle. Today, we're hanging out with Manny the Monstera. I figured we'd talk about some Monstera care. I'm sure all of us, including myself, we've all killed many monsteras in our plant careers. I have personally killed at least 6. When I first started getting into plants many years ago, I always read and heard that you're supposed to keep the soil moist. They can live in low light. I started collecting plants when I lived in a basement suite with next to no windows, and I always liked to give my monsteras lots of water, as I thought that being a tropical plant, they always like to be in moist conditions, and lo and behold, I sent them all to plant heaven. Now, over the years, I have learned my mistakes, and now I've happily had this guy for quite some time now. It's quite large. I have a very hard time trying to move it from room to room. As the seasons change, I want to give it more light. So right now, Manny is currently sitting in my jungle room, so I have 2 south-facing windows and an east-facing window. He sits quite far back from the windows. I do have the blinds kind of drawn just to diffuse a little bit of the light, as direct light will burn your plant. I keep it in a small pot. I do actually have to transplant him this summer, and I also have to include a moss pole, which I have on hand that I made. So this guy, I let him dry out almost completely, and then I give him a very good drink of water. And with him being in this room with all the light, that's usually about every week and a half. And when watering your Monstera, I personally use water that has been left out overnight to get to room temperature, and all the chemicals should dissipate. So I try and give this guy as much natural stuff as I can. When I repot, I will add lots of organic materials like mushroom compost, other dead leaves, worm castings, charcoal bark. I'll also add a 20-20-20 fertilizer every couple weeks, as long as there's new growth happening. I will also spray the leaves with Super Thrive. I'll add a drop to my spray bottle, and I'll give the whole plant a good spray. I also, every single morning when I wake up with my coffee, I walk into the jungle room and I inspect the leaves for pests every single morning. You can see a little white sachet sitting on the soil on the plant. Those are actually predatory mites, just to catch the things that I can't see with the naked eye. I inspect them daily. I also have some of the aerial roots, since they are not attached to a moss pole. I keep some of the aerial roots that are long enough in a jar of water, and they are continually developing new roots that are actually kind of developed for water. So the plant always has an uptake of water. I know some people will ask, can I cut off these aerial roots? Can I? Shouldn't I? They kind of look kind of cool, or they're kind of weird. I personally do not cut off the aerial roots. The plant made them for a purpose, and I'm not gonna go mess around with Mother Nature. You can attach your plant to a moss pole, or in the jungle, these are semi-epiphytic, so they actually will cling to a host, usually a tree of some sort, and then they'll send out all their aerial roots down to the ground to either get moisture or nutrients from the soil. I have yet to propagate Manny, as he's so large and I don't really want to disturb him. But if you were, you would want to take a cutting right below a node or 2. I would take 1 to 2 leaves. You don't need any more leaves, even 1 would work, and you can propagate them easily just by putting it in water. I will let the plant sit in water for a good month or 2, let them develop a good root system. And as you know, when a plant develops roots in the water, those roots are actually developed for water. So once you transfer them to soil, you may risk root rot or suffocation of the roots and plant due to all the soil being smushed up around them. So what I do is I either let them grow in water for the rest of their life and adding nutrients and whatnot as you go, or you can slowly transition your plant. I would add a little bit of soil to your vessel over the course of a few weeks and let your plant start developing roots that are more suited towards soil. I've always had the best success rate doing that. If you guys have any other questions regarding Monstera care, let me know down in the comments below. You can also check out our Instagram at Saltu I share a lot of pictures and tales about Manny the Monstera. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We got new videos coming out every single Friday. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Adios.